left off yesterday, reading on this part, if you can see any of it. Of Molasses Moon. That was video number 17, and this will be number 18. Continuing reading. And we were talking yesterday about finding ways to live right without sacrifice. Okay. Ready or not, here I come. But I'm going to perk and poke fun until you take pleasure answering them for yourself. At least you'll have a running start. You'll have some sample questions and the courage to think and search, and to continue thinking and searching, each in your own way, on your own. Well, I may give you a few answers, but only a few, and some of them may be wrong. I'm still doing my own thinking, questioning, and answering. And damn it, it doesn't have to be hard to be good. Now I ask you again, is Molasses Moon a memoir? Or is it much, much more? I wish you were here now and could write back to Houghton Mifflin for me. I should be pleased I got a nice response written directly to me from the editor queried. I'm not that stupid. I know I should, and I am. I'm just pissed. Memoirs indeed. Now, what does all this have to do with the laws of physics? In a nutshell, I think our answers to biological, psychological, philosophical, ecological, and economical cultural health can be found in the true and accurate physical laws. I call them the laws of consequence. I guess I could phrase it, learn how the world works, and you'll know how we work and don't work. We can't explain physical reality easily while living in it. We can't escape the nature of it, or the nature of us. The environmentalists ought to love that statement. It's too bad they have it all wrong, their view of the nature and of us. They see nature and industrial technology, man's toying with nature, as antithetical, contrary enough to be destructive of each other. I see industrial technology as an ultimately healthy, natural, necessary, and symbiotic evolution of man and nature. Symbiotic means that humans, their toys, and the mother, in capital letters, can be a mutually beneficial admiration society. This isn't a memoir. It's a soapbox. The truth is, everyone would probably love to have one of each for themselves and be published on them, to bestsellerdom and mega dollars. I understand the desire. Spend 10 years working full-time at it with no pay. You'll still have a ways to go. How far? I can't say yet. You know, the worst thing about a how-to is by the time someone succeeds at something and can write the how and then get it published, the rules of the game may have changed. So that method no longer works. In fact, the game may be long gone too. Well, I hate to be abrupt, but I'm going to go. As Tom says, piss on it. That stops a tirade dead in its wet tracks. So, piss on it. I've done enough ranting and raving. I'm going, dripping, to my letters file. March 18th, 1994. Betsy Lerner, editor. Houghton Mifflin Company, 215 Park Avenue South, New York, New York, 10003. Dear Miss Lerner, I know I shouldn't waste your time and mine with this letter, but I can't resist. First, let me thank you for your pleasant professional response to my query offering my nonfiction Molasses Moon manuscript. As I said in my query, I didn't expect a reply unless you were interested in more information. My reason for responding to your response is this. You termed my work a memoir. For the record, it isn't. It's a humorous how-to not to get published as an author of fiction in the current closed shop market. Actually, that is a cover for the true thrust of the work, which is a hilarious, zany treatment of quantum physics as it relates to time, consciousness, and physical reality, based on a formula for time, the distance between I want and I have. Bottom line of all of it is that true capitalism, the unknown ideal, is the most effective moral, political, and economical system for cultural well-being of humans. It's difficult for a female to be taken seriously if she has an irrepressible sense of humor and writes a work of fiction or non about time being the seat of physical reality, if she's not a card-carrying scientist, for God's sake, at least. Then if she's to use her own life, which is all she has at her disposal, as the setting for her quantum physics exploration, well, she'll probably not only not be taken seriously, but she won't be taken anywhere at all, not even off her soapbox. Oh well, be all that as it will and may. Thanks for your pleasant letter. Good luck with your editing. Seriously, Linda G. Shelnutt. I admit that after discovering and using Herman's Guide, I do feel I'm being taken a tiny bit more seriously than I was before. Every little quantum bit helps. Isn't it amazing how civilized I can appear after having pissed and steamed, moaned and groaned in private for a while? You should try it. It works, and it feels great, especially if you're a comedy laughing at itself while you're doing it. Now, I've done it. I've told you how to live. Piss, moan, and laugh at the same time. And keep your butt off the ground and stairs. And let others take you seriously, but don't ever do it to yourself. It makes life too hard. You probably knew that. See? There are no memoirs here. Just good advice. And lots of cholesterol. I do think I'm tired of egg sandwiches. I had some leftover potatoes au gratin this morning, which is March 19th. I phoned Mary, Dale, and Catherine before the au gratin. More long-distance phone calls pushing my perm into the distance, but the reaching out was worth it. Mary loved molasses, saying we could all relate to butt bouncing. She said the chapter made her chuckle, and that I had nailed it several times. She likes my short, simple sentences, excusing that though she's a business ed teacher, she doesn't enjoy plodding through elaborate grammatical structure. I agreed. The current cultural set isn't wired for sophisticated trivia presentations. It likes its trivia trivial. For which reason, I've often illegally split even short sentences into 3 or more fragments. Short danglers give pause for perk and punch. She's going to write with details, yum, on which part she liked best. Yay. Double yay. Dale liked his part in the manuscript, having jumped into that first. He'll read the rest after he gets his book to the next phase, which he'll send. Having made a courageous career change to writing and related pursuits, he's working with an editor, a freelance one, not affiliated with a publishing house, on his novel. I apologize to him and his editor that some of my sentences were incomplete. Though KK is dragging her feet toward 80, her mind isn't slowing a bit. reading the popular how-to computer books for dummies. She says she'd rather input more directly and even more simply, and that she'd enjoy the humor if she wasn't in such a panic to get smart. But she says the books are selling like mad. I like that part. After a recent reread of The Rose, KK advised that the poetry might turn readers away. I agreed that poetry can be a very dangerous put-off. Uncomfortable about both excluding and including the poetry, I wasn't thinking fast enough to note that Like Water for Chocolate's recipes irritated a few readers. But the book found its audience because of, rather than in spite of, food preparation sidetrack tips. I'll be sending KK a copy of Molasses, so if I forget to tell her about Like Water, she'll read it here. Hi, KK. Gotcha, didn't I? As I mentioned, I talked to Barb over coffee on St. Pat's Day. It was early, 6:15 her time, when I called, wanting to catch her before her powered business persona turboed in. Her response to, "How'd you like my query letters?" was, "I haven't had my coffee." She got it perking while we talked, noting that her espresso maker was getting old but still worked great. It has grown to love her. She's done something amazing. She proved me wrong. She tries to make good coffee, and does. She's going to send the address of Seattle's best beans. She found the queries humorous, but asked if they were red. She has worked for congressmen before, gaining the knowledge that unsolicited mail is not usually read. I said that sometimes my queries are, and that I have received some true responses, documented in New Moon and Quarter Moon. She liked the title of Molasses, saying it's catchy, and she can see it on bookshelves. She said individuals can't successfully approach conglomerates anymore. I agreed that it isn't easy, but that I do hope, it's still possible. In response to my telling her to send any feedback, she chuckled. "You'll read it?" Oh, yes. After I read the first few pages of the manuscript to her, she said my writing was spontaneous and witty. It was so like me, and had improved so much. It was interesting that she gave the same comment, my improved writing being like me, to The Rose when she read it in '85. This is a compliment, I think, since Barbara likes me. She likes fine wine, too. It's nice to age well. And I still say, this isn't a memoir. Chapter 11. The Q Continuum. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like those words. Maybe I'll say them to Jeff Herman when he phones to say he sold Molasses Moon to Bantam Books. Cock-a-doodle-doo! That's the bright red bantam rooster crowing. You knew that, didn't you? We won't need any help selling Molasses to you. You're smart. You read. At least sometimes. And you buy my books. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you a new person yet? Remember what I said in Chapter 5? You can thank me when you finish this book and want more and more, and it's available. There will probably be a few other people to thank at that point, too. I can see the cover. A big red raised rooster in the center. On the right is a photographic, not pornographic, presentation of Gemstar, blue monitor screen with the white letters of the first page of this manuscript clearly displayed. On the left is an equation, bringing Einstein's formula to mind. My equation is Q equals 1/2 3 times 4. Thus, Q equals 6. I think I'll pause there. Maybe I'll keep some stimulate some curiosity going too. So this is reading number 18 of Molasses Moon, and you might visualize that that book cover and see what you think of that one compared to the one that's on here. I kind of enjoy changing my book covers. I did that yesterday on Myrtle's Ultimate Mystery. I changed the cover and also did some upgrades and fixed a few typos. And we'll see what happens next. Just hang around and wait and see.